Now let's create a lead magnet. You have already created your own outbound offer, which will help you to convert clients that are already in a meeting with you to paying clients. But before that, we have to give them something that they are willing to join a meeting. We have to give them some value. We have to give, and then we can ask for something. Then we can ask them to start working with us on a paid basis. But before that, we have to generate trust. We have to fill up the 7 hours of trust. And one very efficient way to do it is to provide them with valuable resources. For example, in the form of a lead magnet. But what can you give them as a lead magnet? How to design a lead magnet? We will go through this step by step in today's session. First, let's go to chatgpt.com/GPTs. There we will look for Tal Baker's lead magnet generator, lead magnet prompt. So if you click here, you will see all the GPTs, and then we can just look for Tal's lead magnet prompt, start the chat. And the good thing is, ChatGPT knows almost everything about your company. So all the following questions that you might receive during the chat, ChatGPT can answer them for you. So let's start. What's your company name? In our case, let's say, for example, Daniel Heltemes. Then the next question. Is Daniel Heltemes a SaaS or a service? In our case, it's a service. But let's ask ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can also tell us. So we will take this question, just copy it, and we will go to another ChatGPT chat and ask, tell me everything you know about the company Daniel Heltemes. Then it lists all the information, and in 90% of the cases, this is the correct information. Just check it for yourself to be on the safe side. Then enter the question. Is Daniel Heltemes a tool like a SaaS or a service? Now it's answering, it's a service with strong systems and automations. Perfect. Then let's copy this. So we will copy the answer and put it right here. Next question. Can you give me a clear description of what Daniel Heltemes does? So let's copy this, and again, ChatGPT will do it for you. If you don't like the result or the answer of ChatGPT, change it. But most of the time, it's good enough. So let's take the first answer. With Daniel Heltemes, you design, build, and run a predictable B2B outbound sales system that consistently generates qualified meetings and revenue. So let's copy this one. And we paste it right here. Now ChatGPT is asking for 3 to 5 key features. We will copy the question again, paste it right here, and let's see. Maybe the answer is good enough. If not, we will change it. Let's see, reach the right B2B buyers, convert outreach into meetings, and so on. Nah, in this case, I don't like the answer. So we will redefine the answer. And now we have this data-driven ICP and account targeting, automated cold outreach system, human-led cold calling and qualification, multi-channel outbound engine, predictable pipeline. So for how many features were they asking? 3 to 5? Then we will take this one. The first 3, they are good enough. And we will put it here as an answer. So are there any other important informations that you would like me to know before we move on? Let's ask ChatGPT. Any other important info that I should give to the person that will design a lead magnet for Daniel Heltemes? Let's see. Okay, and as you can see, ChatGPT gave a really good answer. So in this case, it says it shouldn't target do-it-yourself founders with no budget. The lead magnet should not concentrate on them. The lead magnet should concentrate on CEOs of bigger SaaS companies where they have the feeling that the outbound currently is a little bit random, it's too much founder dependent, it's not predictable, not scalable. And the core belief of the lead magnet must communicate that human calling and automation, they have to work together and tools don't work alone. So this is a completely different approach. Normally, if you start, you often think about smaller founders or of yourself or whatsoever, but you want to have the big companies as clients or scaling companies as clients with lots of funding, money, and resources. So in this case, you have to target the CEOs that think a little bit bigger or that have different problems than do-it-yourself founders. So here ChatGPT gave us a very good overview of the things that we have to consider for our lead magnet. And I will add one more information. Very good. Please ensure that the lead magnet is mainly targeting B2B SaaS, CEOs, COOs, head of growth, sales, or business development with minimum 10 employees and minimum 2 million euro ARR. So this way, the lead magnet will be even more specific. And as you can see, the answer of ChatGPT becomes even better. So now it's targeting exactly the right people. It's not for solopreneurs, freelancers, agencies, whatsoever. Then we have a clear strategic goal of the lead magnet, core beliefs, what problems it should diagnose, and so on. So now we can copy this and put it to our lead magnet generator. So let's put it here. And I will also use the previous answer like this. So I think this should work out. They're saying, fantastic, that's pure gold. You've done the heavy lifting on strategy, positioning, and audience targeting. And it was so easy because we just used AI to do all the heavy lifting. So now we know exactly the exact audience targeting, strategic purpose, and so on. And the ICP is now very clear. CEO, founders, head of growth, head of sales, and so on. 10 plus employees, 2 million plus ARR, and so on. Is this correct? Would you like to add or change anything before I log it in as your official personas? So let's say it like this. We again go to ChatGPT. Should I, and then I can ask, should I add or change anything before I log it in as the official persona? Let's see. Is this correct, or should I add or change anything before I log it in as the official persona? And you can see 90% is good enough, but I recommend 2 to 3 small but important refinements. This is good. So add a negative ICP filter. So there are some suggestions what to add as the anti-ICP. Trigger moments, that might be interesting. Psychological qualifiers. And final locked ICP. Yes, but I think honestly, it's good enough what we already have. So I won't add these refinements. And I will say, yes, this is correct. Now, 10 problems are created. that the ICP is likely facing, solutions, supporting stats for each, and 10 free and scalable ways to deliver value without meetings. So this is very nice. Outbound is inconsistent and unpredictable could be one problem. And here we are offering a data-driven system, and supporting stats is 59% of the B2B SaaS founders report inconsistent pipeline from Outbound, and so on. So here lots of good problems. Outbound is founder dependent and so on. And now we have 10 free and scalable value deliveries where we don't need to generate any meetings for them. For example, an outbound system scorecard, ICP precision checklist, pipeline prediction benchmark, compare current against best practice ranges, and so on. Step 4, these problems and solutions directly align to where your ICP feels friction and how you productize service solves it. So step 4 is now complete. And now we come to step 5 out of the 5 steps. Lead magnet emails. I craft 3 concise executive level outreach emails based on everything above. But we don't want to do that. We want to directly have one of these lead magnets. So I will say, please generate, for example, this outbound system scorecard. So let's do this. And now we already get it. Perfect. So now it already generated the outbound system scorecard. And to make it look even more valuable, instead of just creating a PDF out of it, we will create a Notion out of it. Please create a highly structured Notion page out of this. I want to have it as a Notion template. That's why I will say it should be in this format. So please in a format which I can directly use in Notion. And now it's creating a markdown file, and it will give me the download link. So I will download this one, but it didn't work. So we just say download didn't work. And then it will create the file again. So everything is formatted perfectly. We can copy this one. Now we put everything here. And as you can see, it's formatted perfectly. And you can directly share this one with potential clients. If you want, you can also format this as a table, for example. So I will say and then it's already creating a table, which we can then copy again. Let's copy this one, paste it right here. Instead of the sections, we will now use the table, for example. And now you have something that looks even more technical. Our ICP includes firmographics, technographics, and so on. Always mostly, sometimes rarely never. And then you can add up all the points and see the total score, have a score interpretation, system insights, and so on. And then also see if you scored below 31, what should you do? And here I inserted the same thing by accident, so I will delete this. And perfect. So now we have a lead magnet that we can directly share, and everybody that wants to have access, they just have to give us their email, or you can also publish it so that everybody can access it without having to give you any emails. But we can also create another lead magnet very, very easily. So now we go up to our other lead magnets. We will have a look. What did they offer as lead magnet? For example, here, ICP precision checklist. Now create a Notion, a highly structured and technically looking Notion, e.g. with tables for this lead magnet. And as you can see, it's now creating a very good ICP precision diagnostic table. You can also check the score. And I want to have a markdown. Without download link. And it's creating this ICP precision diagnostic table live in front of our eyes. So let's copy it. So now we edit it right here. And we can see everything has been formatted perfectly. And we can also share this one as one of our lead magnets. So as you can see, it's super, super easy to create relevant lead magnets specifically for your persona, for your outbound campaigns. And this way you're adding value upfront. Of course, you can now also record a video on top of this Notion, which you can add at the beginning of your Notion page to explain what this Notion page or what this lead magnet is about, which adds even more trust, familiarity with you, because people can see your face, they hear you talking. At the end, you can add more concrete call to actions, but this is up to you. These are just the basics. So this way you could generate a lead magnet in less than 10 minutes.